So they decided to do everything their own way. They decided to rewrite their own rulebook and live entirely by that. They decided that they would not dance to anybody's tune but their own. They are not perfect. They are not infallible. But my goodness me, they're brave. Imagine that. Imagine growing up in that goldfish bowl and deciding that you're going to smash the glass and see whether or not you can survive.
Over the years since Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan stepped back from their royal duties and moved to the United States, it has become clear that the British tabloids and royal commentators have never seen things from this perspective by James O'Brien. Instead, they have been relentless in their attempts to undermine Harry and Meghan's new life, and especially their relationship. One of the most persistent narratives pushed by these detractors is that Harry, who grew up as the spare in the royal family, is seeking to break free from Meghan and their children and return to the monarchy. It's a theory that has persisted for years, fueled by a combination of royal insiders, experts, and even body language analysts. However, this narrative ignores a fundamental truth. Prince Harry chose to leave the monarchy, not to abandon his family, but to protect them. It's a decision rooted in love, commitment, and an unwavering determination to forge his own path. Let's dive deeper. Detractors have been pushing the narrative that Harry is somehow a spare in his marriage, just as he was deemed a spare within the royal institution. This reveals a deeper issue within certain segments of British society and the monarchy. It's the inability to understand or accept that Harry, a prince raised in the confines of tradition and protocol, might actually want a life outside the royal bubble. They cannot comprehend that Harry took control of his destiny and now lives by his own rules. The Daily Mail published an article titled, "The Real Reason Why Meghan Markle is Hands-On with Prince Harry. Duchess's double clutch is a gesture of ownership," body language expert says. The article claims that Meghan's physical gestures toward Harry, specifically her tendency to hold his hand or place her arm around him, are signs of dominance and control. According to this so-called expert, Meghan's gestures are not affectionate, but a way of asserting ownership over her husband. It's a bizarre interpretation, but one that fits the tabloids' long-standing narrative that Meghan is manipulative and Harry is weak. That Harry is the spare in their marriage. Yet, when we examine Harry's life and choices over the past few years, it becomes clear that nothing could be further from the truth. Harry's departure from the monarchy wasn't a rash decision made under Meghan's influence. It was the culmination of years of soul-searching, a desire for freedom, and a need to protect his family from the very same media that contributed to his mother's tragic death. He has spoken openly about the emotional toll that being a member of the royal family took on him, and how the constant media scrutiny and institutional rigidity left him feeling trapped. In fact, Harry's decision to leave the monarchy and move to California with Meghan and their children is perhaps the most independent and assertive move of his life. It was a decision that required immense bravery, especially given the immense pressure to conform to the royal way of life. As James O'Brien put it, they decided to do everything their own way. They decided to rewrite their own rulebook and live entirely by that. They decided that they would not dance to anybody's tune but their own. They are not perfect. They are not infallible, but my goodness, they're brave. This bravery is what confounds Harry's critics. For a royal family so steeped in tradition, duty, and the expectation of obedience, the idea that a prince would willingly walk away from it all is unfathomable. The monarchy has always thrived on control over its members, control over its public image, and control over the narrative that surrounds it. Harry's departure was a blow to that control, and it is clear that some within the royal institution, as well as their media allies, have never forgiven him for it. The insistence that Harry is somehow a spare part within his own marriage reflects a deeper unwillingness to accept that Harry and Meghan's relationship is a true partnership. The media often portrays Meghan as a domineering figure and Harry as the passive husband, but this depiction ignores the reality of their marriage. Harry and Meghan have demonstrated time and again that they make decisions together, that they are united in their values, and that they share a deep commitment to their children and each other. The idea that Harry is merely tagging along, waiting for the moment to leave Meghan and return to the monarchy, is a fantasy perpetuated by those who cannot understand the couple's independence. In the years since Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, there have been countless predictions about the collapse of their marriage. Tabloid headlines regularly scream about their supposed marital problems, claiming that Harry regrets leaving the UK or that Meghan is unhappy in America. Yet, time and again, these predictions have proven to be baseless. Harry and Meghan have built a life together in California, focusing on their family and their charitable work. They have taken control of their narrative in a way that few royals have ever done, and this is precisely what frustrates their detractors. As James O'Brien said, the fact is, Harry and Meghan are writing their own story, and they are doing it on their own terms. They have refused to play by the rules of the royal institution, and in doing so, they have exposed the limitations of that institution. The monarchy survives because its members rarely deviate from the path set out for them. By stepping away, Harry and Meghan showed that there is another way to live. They demonstrated that it is possible to be royal and still have a life that is authentic and fulfilling. This is why so many royal commentators, body language experts, and tabloid journalists are obsessed with analysing Harry and Meghan's every move. They cannot understand why the couple continues to thrive despite the predictions of doom. They cannot figure out the rule book that Harry and Meghan are following because there isn't one. The couple has chosen to forge their own path, free from the constraints of the monarchy and the expectations of the British media. Consider Harry's upcoming trips to New York and London, which have once again sparked speculation among royal experts. Some have suggested that Harry's independent visits to these cities are a sign that he has been feeling like a spare part in his marriage and that he is reclaiming his independence from Meghan. This notion is not only absurd, but insulting. Harry's trips to New York and London are not about escaping his family. They are about fulfilling his commitments and continuing the work that is so important to him. What critics fail to grasp is that Harry is no longer the spare, waiting in the wings for a role that may never come. Instead, he is a husband, a father, and an advocate for causes he cares deeply about. His departure from the monarchy was not an abdication of responsibility, but a redefinition of it. He and Meghan have made it clear that they are committed to using their platform to make a difference, whether through their Archewell Foundation or their work in the entertainment industry. It is important to note that the monarchy's attempts to portray Harry as a wayward prince who will eventually return to the fold are rooted in a belief that the institution is the only source of legitimacy and purpose in his life. But Harry has shown that there is life beyond the palace walls, and that it is possible to be both royal and free. He and Meghan are living proof that it is possible to break away from the constraints of tradition and still find happiness and fulfillment. That, as James O'Brien put it is possible to smash the glass of the goldfish bowl and survive. This is what royal commentators and media outlets struggle to understand. The rulebook that has governed the royal family for centuries no longer applies to Harry and Meghan, and no matter how much they try, critics cannot predict or control their next move. Their attempt to dissect Harry and Meghan's every gesture, every glance, every touch, in an effort to find cracks in the couple's marriage, is futile. Their interpretations are nothing more than speculation, designed to fit a narrative that the tabloids have been pushing for years. They cannot accept that Harry and Meghan are equals in their relationship, that they make decisions together, and that they support each other unconditionally. Instead, they cling to the idea that Harry is still the spare, not only in the royal family, but in his own marriage. The reality is far different. Harry and Meghan's relationship is built on mutual respect and shared values. They have weathered an unprecedented level of public scrutiny and have come out stronger for it. They are raising their children in a loving, supportive environment, far from the pressures of royal life. They are doing meaningful work that reflects their passions and their desire to make a positive impact on the world. At the heart of the ongoing media obsession with Harry and Meghan is the inability to accept that they have taken control of their own narrative, but no amount of speculation, gossip, or body language analysis can change the fact that they have taken control of their narrative. They have built a life together that is free from the constraints of the monarchy, and no expert, royal or otherwise, can take that away from them. Harry is no one's spare. He is the author of his own story, and no amount of speculation or criticism can take that away from him. While the media will continue to try to undermine their success, Harry and Meghan have proven time and again that they are committed to each other, their family, and the life they are building together. And that is something no royal commentator or body language expert can change.